All right, guys, so we are completing our third holiday illustration, and today we're going to do a couple of different types of jingle bells, and you want at least two colors. You can use a yellow and a darker yellow, or you can use, see, yellow, darker yellow, almost an olive green sort of color. And let me swatch those for you because we're doing them gold tone, but you can also do silver bells with blue and gray and even black. So let's start out with a gold bell, and it's going to be a jingle bell. So you want to start with your circle like that, and then you want to draw kind of an oblong there, and then you want to divide your circle in half and add this sort of rectangular thing, and you want to add a loop at the top, and then we're going to go ahead and color this whole thing in like this. And you can sketch it with pencil if you want first, or you can draw it right in your marker if you're comfortable with drawing circles. So we've got the base of the bell. Now you want to use that darker yellow, and you want to go ahead and color in the bottom half of the bell, because that's the part that's not getting any light. You want to color in the bottom of the loop. Okay, and since we're using just good old-fashioned Crayola markers, they're water-based, so they're going to make the paper kind of wet. We want to give the paper a chance to dry a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and talk about gray colors that you can use. Now, I'm using the Crayola 100 pack of Super Tips. It's about $15 at Walmart, so almost anybody can afford to pick up a big pack of markers if they'd like. And we're going to grab a few grays. Now the Crayola Super Tips 100 pack has lots of grays to choose from, so we're going to get a light gray. So a light gray, a medium gray, which is even kind of a bluish gray, and then a darker gray. But this darker gray is a little too warm. You see how cool that lighter gray is? We need to find a darker gray that isn't as warm, isn't as pinkish as, oh, that's too light. So, oh, that's supposed to be silver. That's supposed to be metallic silver, but that's not going to be metallic silver. So what we'll end up doing is we'll use the metallic silver in the middle. So just like with this bell up here, I'm going to start with a circle. And that's kind of a lopsided circle, but that's all right. And we're going to add a highlight. This time we're not going to add that sort of rectangle. That's where the two halves of the bells are connected to. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and make it a circular jingle bell. And we're going to color the whole thing in. And then we're going to add our first shadow. So you see how we almost drew a circle? It's more like a moon, like a half moon shape. And we're going to color that in. And then we're going to let that dry because our paper's getting wet. And when the paper gets wet like that, it's going to be really prone to tearing. So we want to give it a chance to dry. But it means our first jingle bell has had time to dry. So we're going to go in with this darkest yellow. And we're going to add a line right under there. And coming down. And then jingle bells have this sort of Y shaped thing at the bottom. So we're going to draw that in. And you can even go in with black afterwards if you want to and color that in. And this Jingle Bell's still wet. So we're going to draw a different type of bell. We're going to draw the sort of traditional bells that people think about when they're thinking about like maybe church bells. The traditional bell shape, since Christmas bells come in a couple shapes. So we're drawing this sort of mountain. And then we're going to draw the bottom and a loop and then a little bit hanging like that. And you can make your church bell short like that, or you can make it tall and kind of skinny if you want. You can play around with how you draw your bells. However you want to draw them is fine. As long as you're drawing, that's what's really important. We're going to draw in a highlight here, and then we're going to color the whole thing in. Same for this one. Then you're going to take your next darker shade of yellow. It's kind of a wheat color. And you're going to draw sort of a wave shape that goes along the bottom and color that in and add a little bit of shadow on the loop. And we're going to do it on the tall, skinny one as well. And add a little bit of shading on the dangling bit, which is the clapper. That's the part that rings against the body of the bell and makes noise. Now that this is kind of dry, we're going to go in with our last darkest shade of blue on the silver bell. And we're going to add just a little bit of shadow at the bottom. And my paper is starting to get torn up because it's just too wet. And then we're going to draw that Y shape. But we're going to do that in black once this has had more of a chance to dry. See, this is a good dark gray. This is the dark gray I should have been using and not that silver. But you know, that's why we experiment, we play around, we try new things. So on the church bells, we're going to take our darkest yellow and just add a line there at the bottom. And on our little silver bell, we're going to draw in that Y. So I've shown you guys 2 ways to draw bells, and you don't have to draw bells by themselves either. You can draw a group of bells and it'll look really cute, especially if you add a bow. And I'm going to go over how to draw a bow tomorrow, but I'm going to show you guys how to draw a couple of bells with a bow in time lapse right now. All right, guys, so that's 2 ways to draw 2 different types of bells, 2 different colors of bells that you could draw, and a time lapse of how to draw some bells with a ribbon. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick, easy little bell tutorial. I hope you guys will use it for some of your own holiday art. If you do, why don't you share it with me? Tag me and let me see it. You can tag me on Instagram or on Facebook or even on Twitter. And if you need some parents' help, just let them know that Natto Soup taught you how to draw bells today and that you want to show her how you do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to draw bows. We're going to draw different kinds of bows, different colors of Christmas bows that you could put on your letters to friends, your letters to family, or your letters to Santa if you want. If you're looking for tutorials that might be a little bit more advanced, if you're a little bit older or if you're a little further along in your artistic journey, you can check out my tutorials playlist for comic tutorials, watercolor tutorials, alcohol marker tutorials, and more. I hope you enjoyed this easy tutorial for drawing bells. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another quick and easy drawing tutorial. Bye, guys!